Thank you so much. Thank you.
Give them a hand, please. Clap for them, please. Yeah.
carefully. Chinese are ruling the Chinese land. Japan is ruled by Japanese. England is governed by Englishmen. America is governed by Americans. So, Africa must be ruled by Africans. I wanna know the land. We must rule from Cape to Cairo. We must rule our purpose land. I say, we want to know who owns the land. I want to know who owns the land. Hustler. Hey, Papa Hustler. Papa Hustler. Papa Hustler. Must be free. Angola want to know who owns the land. Mozambique want to know who owns the land. Namibia want to know who owns the land. I say, Soweto want to know who owns the land. Zimbabwe want to know who owns the land. African freedom fighters want to know who owns the land. Purposely. Now listen to the history. We've been here since creation. We've been here since creation. What else do I know? Since the time of sun and sand. Since the time of moon and stars. Since the time of air and sea. Since the time of men and things. We must run from Cape to Cairo. And then we must move our purpose land. Purpose land. Oh! Okay now. Now I want to talk to my people. Ira Daniela, oh, I will know. Yeah, Ira Daniela, oh, I will know. Now we are the crossroads. On the Pembo, the Villa. On the Pembo, the Villa. Opalimu Maya Baba. Yeah, Opalimu just Yalaka. Opalimu Tizania Vetonge.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for tuning in to be part of the broadcast today. And yes, we will continue to ask the question. We want to know. We want to know. We Ambazonians want to know who owns the land, who owns the territory called the Southern Cameroons, formerly called former British Southern Cameroons. Again, good evening to all of you joining from Ground Zero. It's a privilege to come to you today. I am really, really excited. As you can see, I am not just live. I am alive and not arrested, ladies and gentlemen. Right here, a free man, never been arrested, will never be arrested. And that is why I ask you guys to be very, very careful out there with inconsequential activists, irrelevant activists, baby activists. You got to be very, very careful listening to anything they bring to you out there. Remember the last time it was Field Marshal who was arrested somewhere in Chang. Yesterday it was Chris Anu who was arrested. Please, let us be mature. They're just luring you to go and watch their empty propaganda. Please, let's be smart. Let's be smart. Let's be smart and not fall to cheap propaganda out there. So, thank you for joining. Please, I have Very, very exciting broadcast today. I'd like you to go on as usual and let us populate the Facebook platform so that I can quickly come to you with this broadcast. I'm going to have a historical guest who has been here before, but he is coming back here again to tell us why, as you can see, the subject on your screen, how the United Nations and the United Kingdom failed the Southern Cameroons, decolonization, how the United Nations and the United Kingdom failed Ambazonia. It is the reason why we fight today. They may pretend that, oh, they don't see us, they don't listen to us, they don't hear us, but I can assure you we will fight until they hear us. We will speak until they hear us. There is no other way to this. So, ladies and gentlemen, please go ahead and hit your share button the moment you populate this screen with 700 people in the next 5 minutes. In the next 5 minutes, I will come to you with my presentation for the day. So in the meantime, again, those of you on ground one, it's a privilege to have you here watching ABC and by television, and those of you in all of the diaspora, in Europe, in Asia, in Canada, of course, the continental USA, and Mexico. Thank you for tuning in. And let me remind you, in the few weeks to come, all of you will be able to have access to what ABC has on Ground Zero 24/7. I always like to remind you that each time you find us on the social media, that is not the only time that ABC is on. ABC is on 24/7. That is 24 hours a day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yes. So when we are developing an app that everybody will be able to download and be able to watch ABC off the hours. And off the hours means when you don't see us here on ABC, on Facebook, on YouTube, you can still watch ABC off those hours because we are still running 24/7 on Ground Zero. And we are also going to be launching the ABC news team so that Ground Zero can get exactly what is going on, not just in Ambazonia, in French Cameroon, and across the globe. African news, world news. We are putting this together, and I am also really, really excited to let you know ABC News Studio is up, and looking forward to launching it during ABC Amber Draft, which is coming up next month. ABC Amber Draft coming up next month, and we shall be exposing to you the new facilities that ABC has here. So this is what is going on here, ladies and gentlemen, and I look forward to you hitting your share button. If you are just joining, go ahead and hit your share button. Let us populate this platform. I'm referring to Facebook platform. I know those of you watching by way of YouTube, I don't know what you can do there, but please, Facebook, go ahead and hit your share button before I bring in Pa Augustine Ndangam, who is joining me on the set tonight. All right, so please go ahead, hit your share button. Let us quickly populate the Facebook platform. We've got very, very critical, crucial issues to talk about here, ladies and gentlemen. So please, if you are just joining, you go ahead and hit your share button. Go ahead and hit your share button. Let me see who is joining here tonight. All right, please hit your share button. Let these numbers jump. Let these numbers jump. Julie Dillon says, blah, 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 said yesterday Chris Anu was arrested. What a lie. All right. Ernest Jr., good evening, sir. Uh, uh, Ernestino Jr., I am proud to be from Bowie County. Okay, awesome. See, Veronica Sakwe, I am happy to see you, our most honorable Secretary Chris. Thank you, sir. Bisong. See how the young have grown. This is my little guy here. All right, Bisong, I see you here. All right. Richard Wright, the unshakable anchorman. Thank you, sir. Billy Bones, freedom is coming soon, Ambazonia. Yes, sir. Selena Ayos, I see you. You are looking good, Secretary Chris, I know. Thank you. You know that they don't choose ugly people to be on television, right? So, what is all right. Thank you for that. Inject Raymond, shame to Black Leg, blah, blah, blah. I won't call his name here. It's inconsequential now. I won't mention it here. But it's a shame to the Black Leg. We are all seeing the man called Chris Andrew still very free and strong. All right. Thank you. Did any of you believe it at least for a second? I mean, forget about any other person. Coming from this particular guy, did you believe it for a second? All right. I see David in Kangim. See you, sir. Fali Einstein. I see you in good Wilfred watching with you from the UAE, United Arab Emirates. Thank you, sir. Kumba LGA is a draft for Kumba. Yes, this is Kumba's week, ladies and gentlemen. We are drafting for Kumba this week, and you know that Kumba is the second largest city in Ambazonia after Bamenda, and Kumba no fit come last for this draft. We know so. Kumba no fit, we no fit grey. Kumba come last for this draft. So please, every one of us, every Ambazonian out there, and one thing I should say is that Kumba has made us very, very, very proud in this struggle. Kumba is one city in the southern zone that has kept the flag of this revolution, of this struggle, flying above expectations. Kumba respects Ghost Town every Monday, in spite of all that the colonial divisional officer out there has tried to do to stop ghost towns in Kumba, and the so-called government delegate. Despite all they have tried to stop ghost town in Kumba, Kumba has stood up, ladies and gentlemen, and frustrated all their efforts to stop ghost town in Kumba. We need to honor Kumba. K-Town. I mean, there is so much about Kumba that I can talk about. We have to honor that wonderful city in Ambazonia. That is the economic hub of Ambazonia. That is the Douala of Ambazonia, ladies and gentlemen. And when we take back our country, there will be no more Douala. It will be Kumba. It will be Kumba, because that will be the center of commerce. The center of commerce in Ambazonia. So this is the week to honor Kumba. All right, let me see who else. Aga Austin, Secretary Chris, the voice of the revolution. Thank you, sir. Kemita Ashu, the Queen, I see you, ma'am. I see also George Asa, okay, Israel Abongwa, Atali Dixon. The demons are so desperate and frustrated that they tell horrible lies without even knowing. Well, that is it. Ernestino Jr., God bless Ambazonia, he says. Thank you, sir. Honest man says, okay, I see you, honest man. I see Inyawung. That's a Libya Alab name. So I can pronounce it very fluently. You can tell that's a Libya Alab name. All right. Magdalene Doe, Secretary Chris, we're inviting you to the graduation of our famous London oil dealer. Oh, who is that? You need to tell me who that oil dealer is, please. I see you. Kumba is our Texas, not Douala. Okay, thank you for the correction, sir. Please, he says, don't compare our Kumba with that dirty city, said Wala. Okay. All right. I got you. Also, Asung Abraham. Greetings, sirs, he said. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, these numbers are not jumping to my liking. I like these numbers to jump. As I can see, they are still not up to 500. That is not normal. If you have just joined, please go ahead and hit your share button. Go ahead and hit your share button. Let us populate this platform so that I come to you with power. Augustine Ndangam, who has so much to talk to us about Yaounde's desperation for a ceasefire, for a peace negotiation. And of course, you will be talking about the book, Seated at Dawn. Again, the book is Seated at Dawn, which is a book that he had just authored that is coming up for launch August 1st. But before we get there, I need you to hit your share button and let's get people gathering here. And while you are doing so, let me take some preliminary information here, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to again to go back to talk a little bit about the Kumba Drive. The Kumba Drive, ladies and gentlemen. Kumba is not Kumba, Meme. Sorry about that. Meme Drive. We have had all our counties for the past 1 month or 2 months drafted. I think by now we should be having over $2 million, over $2 million that has been drafted into the coffers of the local governments and our counties. We thank God for Dr. Sako, who initiated the draft. We have seen through the draft our counties, our LGAs being able to have funds in their pocket to go ahead to prosecute this revolution. We started with Manu. Manu drafted a little over $100,000. We went to Ketunjia, they drafted, I think, $87,000. We went to Bui drafted $87,000. Ketunjia drafted, I think, $84,000. We went to Kupe Maniguba. I don't remember the figure, but it was, I think, $100,000. It was very close to $100,000. We went to Mezam. Mezam drafted $420,000. We went to the BLM. The BLM drafted 267. Was it 67 or 57? I think it was $67,000. We went to Momo. Momo drafted, I think it was $640,000. We went to Fako. Fako drafted $127,000. We went to where was it? We went to Menchum. Menchum drafted Menchum drafted 80 something thousand dollars. We went to Ndonga Mantun. Ndonga Mantun drafted I think 112,000. Ladies and gentlemen, we have raised a little over $2 million within 2 months to defend our people, to defend our territory, and to take back our rights and freedoms from colonial French Cameroon. The only county that is left is Meme. And again, Meme, the importance of Meme in Ambazonia cannot be overemphasized. You heard one of the persons in the audience saying we should compare Kumba to Texas. In the USA for Ambazonia. That is very, very true. Meme produces, when you put all, including all the regions in French Cameroon, when you put them all together, Meme has the highest GDP compared to all the other parts of French Cameroon and even in Ambazonia. Kumba, Meme, is, I just cannot describe what it is, but I guess we all know what I'm talking about right now. So this weekend, we are going out to draft for Momo, and there are many, many thousands of sons and daughters of Meme Kumba, K-Town, in particular, out here in the diaspora. I believe none of you want to see Meme raising less than $200,000. Meme cannot raise less than what the BLM has raised. If Meme is indeed the economic hub of the southern Cameroons, Ambazonia, we hope to see Meme people coming out and raising hundreds of thousands, at least 200, at the least 200, ladies and gentlemen. So please, let us gear up this week on Sunday. Come out in our numbers, join the town hall, and support Meme County to raise for them. Again, Meme Kumba in particular has been a blessing to this struggle. They've stood with us. They stood with Ambazonia, like in Bamenda. Everywhere in Kumba, Meme is shut down, every ghost town. And we have some of the best fighters in K-Town, many times the colonial DO there and the mayor, the government delegate have tried to shut down Ghost Town. But the boys have gone out, despite all threats, they have gone out to stop every venture by French Cameroon authorities in that city. They've gone out to stop it, and ghost towns continue in Kumba on a weekly basis. This time, let's honor them. Let's honor the men and the women, the traders, the workers, and everybody who is standing with the revolution, with the struggle in the city of Kumba. So, thank you, K-Town. Thank you, Ambazonia, that this week you will all go out, you will all come out on Sunday to support K-Town. All right. Let me move to another subject, ladies and gentlemen, and I am talking about an audio. There is an audio out there. There is an audio out there that I guess many of you have listened to. That audio is coming from, as you can find on the title of your screen, there is a group out there calling themselves Black Legs. Now, the Black Legs is a title they have given themselves, and they are actually Black Legs fighting for La République du Cameroon. They have a plot that they have put out, and I like every Ambazonian, please give me your ears, especially those of you in the diaspora who are supporting this struggle, paying money, doing everything to see that the struggle goes on. This group, calling itself Black Legs, they have an audio out there, a huge conspiratorial audio out there in which they plan to circumvent everything that Ambazonians are doing out here to push the revolution, to push the struggle. They plan to make sure that all paper accounts, especially the local governments and the counties and different groups supporting the struggle, they want to make sure that they can duplicate their paper accounts, duplicate their Cash App accounts, duplicate their Facebook's account, duplicate their YouTube's accounts, duplicate their websites, everything that they can duplicate. That is what this group is out to do, and they have revealed this in an audio that is circulating out there. And so we want every Ambazonian to take note, especially those of you who have drafted and have not yet paid, and those of you who are yet to draft and to pay. Now, this is what they are trying to do. They are trying to make sure that when you draft or when you go to pay your draft, you may stumble on an account, a PayPal account, a Cash App account that looks like a legitimate account for the county or the local government or the interim government, hoping that that money will be paid into that illegal account, and then the money will go into their pockets. So what we want everybody out there to know is, please do not get payment information from any other person than from your county executives, your county leadership. In other words, if you are from Mezam and you have to make your draft payment or any form of payment in that matter, make sure that you double confirm that payment information. Make sure you double confirm that payment information. Now, they are also about duplicating Facebooks. Most of you have seen the Red Dragons, a Facebook so-called belonging to the Red Dragons. Listen to me. The Red Dragons do not own a Facebook page. They are not on the social media. So when you see a Facebook page called Red Dragons, those are not the Red Dragons that we know. There is also another Facebook page called Field Marshal. Field Marshal does not have a Facebook account, ladies and gentlemen. These are all duplicated, put out there to use for soliciting funds. Let me tell you something I learned one evening. I sat at home and a lady in Austin, Texas called me and said she is online with Field Marshal. I said, oh, for real? She said, yes. And she told me Field Marshal is telling her to support them for a project. The rains are coming and they need rain boots. They need to fortify their tents and stuff. And so asking her to support them. It sounded legitimate. The guy was very calm, calculated, talking, like Field Marshal. So, but this lady fortunately knew me, put me on the line and told me he's talking with a Field Marshal. I said, okay, hold on. Let me call him from my phone. So I picked up my phone, called the same number, and guess who picked the phone? Of course, not Field Marshal. It was a 419 thief who was on the line, fronting as Field Marshal to take money. And this lady would have given money if she didn't talk to me. And I know there are very many people out there who have been duped in the name of General Chacha, General Commando, Field Marshal, blah, 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 blah. Please do not give money to somebody you do not know. When they call you, tell them, can you go through your county leaders? Can you go through your LGA leaders? Unless you know them, don't put out a dime. Don't give a dime to fraudsters who are sitting on Facebook, social media, WhatsApp, and trying to defraud people. So please, let us be very, very smart out there. Do not pay your draft to any number you find on Facebook. And I'm challenging all the county leaders and the LGA leaders. You need to put out your payment information. You need to provide ABC, your payment information, so that we can run them on the screen. All the counties, if possible, all the LGAs, if you are collecting the money but we would prefer the counties to do so we don't have so many numbers on the screen. We expect that the counties will each provide ABC with a phone number with which people can call to find out what payment information is available for them. So please, the counties, send ABC that information. So, Ambazonians, do not go on Facebook or WhatsApp and pick any phone number, any PayPal email, any Cash App address to make payment. Verify every payment information that comes to you. These guys have said they will go as far as duplicating press statements sent out by the interim government. That's what they have. That's what they have said. Now let me put a word out to them. You have the right to do what you want to do. You can duplicate anything you want to duplicate. But let me tell you, now that we have your information, we will make sure every diplomatic channel, be it on ground zero or in the diaspora, is aware. In fact, your audios will get to them. Your audios will get to them. So that when you write and put out your trash, they will call us and say, did you write this? Is it coming from you? And then we will say no. And they would have discovered exactly the blacklegs that you are. So, ladies and gentlemen, this information is very, very crucial. Spread the news to every Ambazonian out there. Do not pick out payment information from the social media, from WhatsApp, and try to make payments for your draft. Call your LGA or your county leaders to get accurate payment information. For the draft. Okay, I hope you got that. It is very, very important, ladies and gentlemen, that we all spread this information. It is very important we all spread this information. Now, before I bring in again Pa Augustine Ndangam, who is my guest today, I just want to make a statement to our fighters on ground zero. Gentlemen, listen to me very, very carefully, very, very attentively. You guys are doing a marvelous job on ground zero defending Ambazonia. No one can do what you are doing. In fact, if you were not there, this revolution would have been long over. The diaspora can raise millions, and it's very, very important that they raise even billions. But if we raise millions and there is nobody on ground zero to carry those guns to defend the people and defend the territory, all the money will be good for nothing. So I really want to appreciate on behalf of every leader and this interim government what you guys are doing on ground zero. You are putting your lives on the line, defending our territory and sending out French Cameroon soldiers. So, but this is what I have to say. We have learned of calls coming from Kondenge, calls coming from impeached leaders, calls coming from a coalition that wants to take us back to French Cameroon, to the one and indivisible Cameroon. This is the message that we have for every fighter on ground zero. Please, number one, change your SIM card. Change your SIM card. Change your SIM card. Number two, if by any means their calls should get to you, tell them you are not loyal to individuals, you are loyal to organization, you are loyal to the interim government. And this is the difference, ladies and gentlemen, between this interim government and any other group out there. This is the difference between this interim government and any other group out there. No one person here at this interim government can stand up to take any decision that is detrimental to the progress of this struggle. Dr. Sakoro cannot wake up in the morning and take a decision without consultations. Because we have different arms of consultations in this interim government. You have the executive, which is headed by the president. We have the Restoration Council. We have the counties. We have the LGAs. We have the country heads. We have the Judicial Council also. We also have the Ethics Committee. This interim government is made up of institutions, ladies and gentlemen. So no one person can stand up and dictate to anybody, to any person. Another a very important aspect of this is that it makes us accountable to the people, accountable to you, watching and listening to the sound of my voice today. We have so many other groups who are fighting, who say they are fighting for this struggle, but they are headed or led by single individuals who are not accountable to anybody. You, Ambazonian, can rise up and say the interim government must be audited, and the interim government will be audited, because when the people speak, we got no choice. The interim government is a people's government. So when they call you PIG, P-I-G, don't be offended. Yes, that is your acronym, People's Interim Government, ladies and gentlemen. So by the name, you can tell that when you rise up and say the interim government should give account for this, for the drafts, for my trip to Boya, for this or for that, be sure, you can expect that that will be done, because this is not a one-man party. It is not a one-man affair. It is ours. So, ladies and gentlemen, to our fighters on ground zero, refuse to compromise because of 200,000, 500,000 that they gave you. For how long can you use 500,000? That is no money. We are very much aware. La République du Cameroon has plans to dish out money, millions, to some of the so-called leaders out there. Of course, some of you know some fighters have already laid down their arms. Fighters from people, from groups are leading this revolution. They call for a ceasefire as if they were the ones that declared war. When you call for a ceasefire, you are asking your fighters to lay down arms. How does anyone even call for a ceasefire when they did not declare war, when we say we are defending ourselves? That is not possible, ladies and gentlemen. So, every fighter on ground zero, listen to the sound of my voice. You are not laying down your arms, and if anybody, any group should call you, even Christian who calls you and say, lay down your arms, let's discuss with La République du Cameroon, call me a traitor, call me an enabler. Nobody should give you money either to fight for him, to fight for his group. You are fighting for Ambazonia. You are defending Ambazonia. You are not fighting for Sako. You are not fighting for Sisiku. You are not fighting for anyone else. You are fighting for Ambazonia. So, if anybody should anybody call you and say, take this amount of money, help yourself, buy some better guns, know that those are the true blacklegs, the true enablers, traitors that we have in this struggle, and refuse to take any orders from them. Don't even take their money. I know of generals and commanders on the ground who have received those phone calls and they have refused to take a dime, a franc from those so-called leaders. So please, this message is for our fighters on ground zero. Stand your ground. You pick up arms by yourself to defend Ambazonia. I ask you today, just continue selflessly as you have done for 4 years. We have no other choice to defend our country, not until we get on a negotiation table with French Cameroon and agree for a ceasefire. Let me add something. I'm bringing Pa Ndangam in here shortly now. Let me give this as a background to my discussion with him. I don't think that Pa is aware that La République du Cameroon is reaching out to the leaders in the diaspora. La République du Cameroon is reaching out to the leaders in the diaspora. They want to negotiate. They want to negotiate with the leaders in the diaspora. They don't want to sit on a round table or square table, whatever it is, with the leaders of this revolution, of this struggle in Switzerland. But all that they are trying to do, come around, meet people on individual basis, ladies and gentlemen, and of course put money in their pockets. I heard some people saying that I have taken my own money. No, I have not taken any money. I'm not going to take any money. It is blood money, ladies and gentlemen. It is blood money. It is blood money. I would prefer to walk quietly out of this struggle, just remain quiet and not do anything, than to take a dime, ladies and gentlemen, from French Cameroon, after they have killed our families and burned down our towns and our villages. It is blood money. But conscienceless leaders in this struggle that we know are taking money and asking their soldiers to lay down arms. And what Larapople wants to do is, I have learned that they will meet every leader in the diaspora. They will meet every leader in the diaspora and try to settle with them, so that when the stubborn ones, I call it in their own terms, the stubborn ones like us, so that when we're the only one left standing, we feel a sense of frustration and defeat, and we naturally give up. That is the plot that French Cameroon has on the table. They are picking them one by one. They started with the funchas out there. You can hear them singing like birds on La République du Cameroon television. They go on Equinox, they sing like birds. They go on the Afrique Media, they sing like birds. I don't know whether they have been on CRTV. I think one of them has been there. But listen, I have written to those same television stations, even called them. I've called Equinox, I have called Afrique Media and said, you cannot be speaking to these guys alone. You got to speak to the other side if you are indeed practicing journalism. You got to speak to both sides. They will not as much, ladies and gentlemen, as say, okay, we will get to you later. No. But people who have taken money from La République du Cameroon are all over their television sets, painting us as the evil ones, as the bad ones. But I prefer to be back and be on the side. I prefer to be bad, but be on the side of the people than take blood money and betray people, over 15,000 who have died in this struggle. But that is what La République is doing, is going around trying to buy the leaders, buy the leadership, so that at the end of the day, nobody is left, everybody is corrupted. They do not want to go and sit on the negotiation table. No, they are not interested in the negotiation table. But listen to me, fellow Ambazonians and the ground zero fighters. When we stand our ground and go after them with the might of our military force, they will have no choice. When we rain down their economy, their investments in Ambazonia, they will have no choice. When we send their DOs, so-called DOs, and their mayors packing out of our territory, they will have no choice than to meet us on the negotiation table. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where our strength lies. Our strength lies in raining down their economy, sabotaging everything about them in our territory. When they cannot more pay civil servants, when they cannot more pay the military, when they can no longer get loans, international loans, when they can no longer pay their military, I bet you they will get on that table. They will have no choice but get on that negotiation table. It is coming. It is coming. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the broadcast. Again, at this moment, I will bring in Pa Augustine Ndangam, who is joining me on the set to give all of us his take on this so-called ceasefire thing that we have heard all over the place. Pa Nangam, it's a pleasure again to have you on ABC, sir.
Thank you, Chris.
I hope you're doing okay.
Fine, fine. Thank you.
All right, let's start right away. You have heard my commentary, and you've also, in the past weeks, learned of this effort by French Cameroon. They are desperately seeking to negotiate peace. They started with our prisoners in Konenge, and now they are crusading round the globe to war some of the leaders in the diaspora to unilaterally negotiate an end to this conflict with them. Have they come to you, Pa? Tell me.
Well, not yet. And I doubt if they will come. I doubt because what they are trying to do, whether ceasefire or dialogue with us, started with me in Banjul. As many of our compatriots know, the legal lawsuits we took in Banjul, the commission went into it and recommended or offered to facilitate dialogue between the two states. And both sides in the lawsuits that we took, the side of the Southern Cameroons and the side of the Republic of Cameroon, said yes to that proposal by the African Commission. We said yes, both sides. But Republic of Cameroon went further to say that they are accepting the facilitation of dialogue. Actually, the message came to them late. And at the time we were talking in that session, it was just weeks for the talks for the dialogue to start. So Republic of Cameroon openly there in the commission asked for time extension.
I'm sorry, when did you say that was?
And
when did you say that was?
Pardon?
When did you say that was?
This was when the commission handed down the verdict in the first communication 266, which we took in 2003, and the verdict was handed down in 2009 in Banjul.
Right.
The commission offered to facilitate dialogue. Both sides, Southern Cameroons and Republic of Cameroon, accepted. And Republic of Cameroon asked for extension of 6 months to prepare for that dialogue.
Right.
And at the end of that 6 months, the Republic of Cameroon was nowhere. Instead, they organized a big fanfare in Buea to celebrate the unification of the two Cameroons.
So let's get back to this ceasefire first. So what you are saying is, as of today,
I'm saying that to come to the point of the ceasefire and the approaches now that they are making.
Yes.
I'm saying that this is the kind of pattern. This is the pattern of game that the Republic of Cameroon plays. It's just a game they are playing. It's just a game. They assured the commission, their own delegation assured the commission, not something I heard, that after the 6 months they'll be ready for the dialogue in Banjul. They did not appear after that. If we are going to have dialogue with La République, Southern Cameroons, whether ceasefire, is it La République to choose who to discuss that for us?
That is a very, very critical question that I have asked. French Cameroon says they want to dialogue, they want to discuss, but they go to prison and handpick who they want to talk to. So yes, go ahead, please.
And that very act of selecting with whom they want to talk immediately disqualifies that person or that group before our eyes.
Correct.
Because you should speak, the person speaking for us should be delegated by us. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So this is just a game. You have imprisoned people for life, and then you go and remove them secretly at night to go and discuss dialogue. And let me go back to Banjul. One thing they did, not just refusing to come back after the 6 months, they go to celebrate something in Boya called reunification, which they had never done throughout our history. But that day they were celebrating that thing. They sent one professor from Yaoundé, I think it was Professor Pundi, to Addis Ababa already to announce, to give a lecture at the AU on how Cameroon was celebrating this reunification in southern Cameroons, in Boya, and so on. So while they are sending people now to buy people, to corrupt people individually, don't be surprised they have already sent word to the United Nations and to the AU to say that they have opened negotiations with southern Cameroons and it's going on fine. That's what they do. It's a game.
Well, that's what they are trying to do. That's exactly what they are trying to do, because the moment they succeed, you have alerted
those of us in the diaspora, if they have not come to you, they will come. They will come.
No, they have made many attempts. They have made many attempts to meet with the leaders of the interim government. I mean, as we speak, those efforts are being made. But you know what they want, what they're trying to do? Their goal is to meet Dr. Sako with maybe 2-3 different people. At a certain point, they're inviting him to meet them somewhere, just 3 of them, maybe in Europe, somewhere in Europe. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? That's what they've been trying to do for all the past weeks. Trying to get Dr. Sako, maybe with a few members of his team, to meet somewhere secretly and have a discussion. But we are saying that if you really want peace, negotiations, hey, thank you for reaching out, but let's meet in Geneva.
Yes, and it will not just be between 2 of us. There must be a third party. There must be a third party, because you cannot work on the promises of these people between 2 of you. No, they will let you down, just as they did with Sisiku. You take them out at night, whatever they did, they find that it did not go well with their own terms. They disown you. They disown the discussion you had with them. But it was wrong also on the side of our own people, of Sisiku, to accept. If you are a prisoner, you have no freedom to negotiate. If you are a prisoner, you don't run even. You are negotiating for ceasefire. You don't run the fighters on the field. So how can you go to negotiate for them? But the most important thing is, if you are in prison, you are in prison. You are not free to speak. And the thing that my brother should have done was, it's a simple thing when they come to you to say, meet the people outside. Meet the people who are free.
Right.
And I say this, the blame to go to people who went and prevailed on Sisiku to say he had dismissed the acting interim government that was acting for him. I recall that many times when Dr. Sako was acting interim head of government, he said publicly, many times, publicly, that he was acting for Sisiku. That statement was made publicly.
Hold on there. I will get you back there. He didn't just say that. Let me tell you what happened. When Sisiku and others were picked up in Nigeria, we carried on with the government for, I think, about 3 weeks or so, about a month, right after the moment they were taken to Yaoundé. Because when they were still being held in Nigeria, we thought, oh, there is no way Nigeria can send them back to La République du Cameroon. But to our surprise, they were sent to Cameroon. It was at that moment that the then members of cabinet came and they sat down and they said, well, now that they are going to Cameroon, we do not see them coming back anytime soon. We better get something permanent in place before people begin to get discouraged and feel like the struggle is over. Let's put together a new team. So when we went into the debate of debating what role that the new leader should play, some suggested that let him be president as Sisiku. Then others suggested that, well, if we take off Sisiku entirely from the board, it means that a lot of people can do anything. They will treat them like terrorists, not even as leaders anymore. So somebody suggested let Sako be acting president. In other words, Sisiku was still the president, no matter what. So this thing was thoughtfully, calculatively put out there to give Sisiku the leadership of this struggle. But as you have said, the moment they move out of set to Kononge, where he was now able to communicate with people, he began to listen to the wrong people. And the idea was, Sako doesn't want to hand over to me. But that wasn't the arrangement. He got it completely wrong. But go on, sir.
Yeah, but what happened then was that the big mistake which people pushed Sisiku into was to say that he was dismissing that government and he will handle matters himself or he'll appoint another one. You can't rule from prison. You can't negotiate for dialogue. You can't negotiate whether for ceasefire or for whatever we have to dialogue with this our people from prison. You can't do it. You can't do it. And
absolutely,
it was falsification to say that Mandela did it. I mean, what people push people to do the wrong things. But right now, Sako is not acting for him now. Sako has been given legitimately elected into that position, and he's not more acting for Sisiku. So if the Republic of Cameroon was to be serious, it should talk to the people that the people have elected. You don't come and bypass the leadership that the people have put in place and choose with whom you are talking. As I'm saying like this, and knowing the Republic of Cameroon, I know that in either the United Nations or Addis Ababa, they have got information that they are in progress. The talks are in progress, whether overseas fire or what, with the leaders of Southern Cameroon, when nothing is going on. It's just a game.
What you are saying, you've gotten information. You got information that talks are going on. Addis Ababa has been informed that talks are going on currently.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe those are the talks I'm telling you. They're trying to reach out to us, bribe us individually, and then they can say that they have reached a deal with the separatists, I guess.
Right. But whatever Sisiku tries to do in prison with them, you see, just the very fact that it is La République that has picked him discredits him before all of us. You cannot speak from prison on our behalf because we don't know what deal your hand is being twisted from prison.
Correct.
You are not free. Your hand is being twisted. You are whatever you are doing at the command of somebody that you are not even free to make a proposal. Even if you make it, will go nowhere. It will go nowhere. Because you have to toe the line of his what he requires that you do.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the ceasefire itself. Many of us have argued that we did not declare war on French Cameroon. French Cameroon declared war on us. We are not fighting across Matazem or across the Mongo. It is French Cameroon fighting across the Mongo and across Matazem. If anything, a ceasefire should take place, shouldn't it be part of the bigger picture that has to do with the settlement, negotiation, dialogue? Would you give the kind of precondition that Sisiku gave to before you get to the negotiation table?
But it was not up to 2 days when a letter was published by the Cameroon government, just canceling everything, in effect saying that everything is wrong, it's incorrect, or what was going on as information was not correct. So the whole process to show that it's just a game, whatever conditions you were giving, you have no power to give those conditions. You have no leeway. I don't know how to put it, but it was out of place. It was out of place to even accept to do that. A simple, straight, and honest thing was meet the people outside, meet my people outside, meet
Right.
the leadership outside. Yes, and you can give your own ideas to your own people outside, or meet my representative outside. But to accept to go yourself and negotiate, no. I think the only one thing that can be given to Sisiku as credit is that we can read between the lines that the way they wanted to twist his hand, perhaps they did not succeed. And that is why the ministry put out that letter saying that the thing that is being said about the talks was not correct. So what was the correct thing? It should have come out. But the simple thing that we can say as Southern Cameroonians is that the very fact that La Republique should pick somebody to talk with, no, we should be represented by people that our people have chosen or put in place. It's as simple as that.
Let me
It's as
ask
simple
you,
as that.
were you one of those that Sisiku consulted with after that meeting? Because I understand he spoke to quite a number of people, leaders out here. He didn't speak to anybody at the interim government, of course, but he spoke to quite a number of leaders out there. Did he consult you?
No, he did not speak to me. He did not speak to me. But after some days, I saw a letter in my box. I saw he wrote. He wrote. I didn't check when that letter came. No, he didn't speak to me. Until now, we have not spoken.
So if
We
you
have not-
were to advise him, because I know what they are doing is ongoing, if you were to advise him, knowing what their communication minister, the public communication minister, came out and said a day after that meeting, would you advise Sisiku to even continue those negotiations, those meetings with La Republique du Cameroon?
No, look, Chris, if I had the chance to meet Siseko, I would say just what I am saying here. And what I am saying here is you cannot negotiate from behind the bars. You cannot. La République, if they are to negotiate with Southern Cameroons, they cannot pick the person to represent us. Even if you were free, even if it is somebody here in the diaspora, if the La République came and picked me that I am going to have talks with Southern Cameroon, it is you, Ndangam, that will represent Southern Cameroon. I'll refuse. I will refuse to be appointed by the Republic to represent my people. My people should choose me, should delegate me to. So, as I'm saying here, and I will repeat, if I was with Sisiku, if they approached you behind the bars, tell them, speak with my people outside, speak with the leaders outside, and whatever they say is okay by me. Certainly, there's nobody outside in Southern Cameroon who will say Sisiku should remain in that prison bars.
No,
Part
absolutely
of the
not.
negotiation will be for his release, but you cannot negotiate for your own release with your captive, with somebody who has captured you. You cannot. He will extort his term and say, sign. If you come out, this country will be a federation. This is what I want. Sign. And if you are a fool, you sign. You come out and with disown. We are not for federation. Yes. It's as simple as that.
He came out the other day and put out a monologue essentially saying that we are again in the days of Foncha, Mona, and Jua, and Fumban, where if we are not careful, we may be sold back to French Cameroon, going by the kind of manipulations that we see some leaders of this struggle doing out there. Tell me if I was wrong. You know the story so well. First, I'd like you to start, power from where you had Joa, Foncha, and Mona. Tell us what happened there. I think it's quite an interesting history that I would like our people of this generation to know exactly what happened. I guess you were there. Please go on. Tell us what happened between Foncha, Mona, and Joa and Ahidjo.
Well, that one is a simple, straightforward thing. And it's a story which many of us witnessed. Particularly, the most striking thing that happened since we came into association with these brothers east of the Mongo, the first dramatic thing that happened was that Augustin Ngom, the third prime minister of Southern Cameroons, was a personality that was in that office elected by our people. He took over from the second prime minister, Foncha, who was elected. Foncha took over from Indele. Indele was elected.
Right.
These are Southern Cameroon leaders elected by the people. Now, the first dramatic thing in our association with La République is the way that the fourth prime minister of Southern Cameroon came into office. Muna was not elected by the people. He was appointed by the first republic dictator, Ahidjo. Ahidjo decided to replace Ngom Jua. And he was not kind to our own system of government. He was not kind to the right of the people.
If I may ask you, did Ahidjo have the constitutional right to appoint a prime minister for the Southern Cameroons?
That's the point I'm just trying to make, that the people elected that prime minister. Ahidjo removed Ngom Jua by decree, and Ahidjo did it in such a dramatic way that they brought in the Boya was militarized that day. People just found Boya, the whole army, all over Boya. And the House of Assembly convened, and Ahidjo flew into Boya, went straight to the National Assembly and removed. Jua went into the National Assembly that morning as Prime Minister.
So members of the National Assembly had no idea Ahidjo was coming?
No idea. Even as early as that morning, the Prime Minister was driving officially to the National Assembly to hear what the head of state wanted to say to the people.
And he knew it was an overthrow.
He came out, and even the car that he drove into the assembly as Prime Minister, he was not to enter. They were showing him a private car. The protocol, the police, and so on were showing him which car to join. It was shocking, but they had done it in such a military way. So that was the first time that in the history of Southern Cameroon they elected their own leader. He was in that house, Prime Minister's Lodge, as an elected person, and somebody appointed by Ahidjo, which was a crushing of the right of the people to self-determination, to decide what should happen, who should rule them, was openly smashed by a dictator. That is what happened.
Now,
then you mentioned
do we know whether, of course, that from the historical perspective, you are a historian. Did Foncha know what transpired? Was it his arrangement with Ahidjo for this to happen?
No. Look, I happen to be somewhere where Foncha and Jua, the person who was in a position to tell Jua and Foncha, told the Prime Minister where he was going down to enter the car to go to the assembly. The person was telling, not me, but a group, and I was there, that this is, he called the prime minister to say, look, as you are going to the assembly, please know that you are no longer prime minister. He says, is that what the head of state is coming to do? He was hearing it entering the car to go. This is somebody, a horse's own mouth, from whom I heard. The person is not more alive, but when
Was
people die...
Was Foncha in Boya that day?
No, he was not.
So tell me, what was his reaction after you learned of all this?
Yeah, Chris, you asked this class of questions. What Foncha did? What was he to do? When Jua was crushed, it was his government in southern Cameroon that was being crushed that way like that.
Did
Yes.
Foncha know that Ahijo was going to appoint Mona the prime minister in Boya?
That one I don't know. That I don't know. But I don't think it is likely at all. I don't think it's likely. Jua was assistant to Foncha. And Foncha couldn't know a thing and let it take Jua by surprise like that. It is not possible. We can analyze ourselves. Yes.
So
Yes.
look at my talking points the other day when I say that essentially what took place between Foncha, Mona, and Ahijo is about taking place right now. If we are not careful, if we are not vocal, tell me, was I wrong? Because looking at the present
No, you are
situation...
perfectly correct. I
Okay.
agree with that 100%. If we are not careful now, these people going to prison and taking people to come and speak on our behalf is unacceptable. And those people, those leaders should be honest, should be frank, should be straightforward and say, no, speak with people outside who are free. They shouldn't accept. I'm assuming that they played Sisiku a game and carried him out of prison without him knowing. It's not good. Things that are done in darkness are usually funny things. They come and take you out. Maybe they told him that they are going to negotiate his release. But if it is that they came and told him that they want to talk about ceasefire, that ceasefire was something suggested by the United Nations, and it was a simple thing to say, no, I'm a prisoner. Talk to people who are free. To accept to go to take the ceasefire and show that you are still in leadership, no, it's not true. If you negotiate with the people and the fighters who are on the ground are not under you, they are drafting people now, getting money to buy equipment to equip our fighters. You are not there. It's a different leadership. The peace talk you want to extend, whether from ceasefire to dialogue, it's already going on somewhere, and you are not linked to it. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
What do you make? What do you make of the fact that because I am so much concerned with this Foncha Mona angle with Sisiku because Sisiku is not only discussing with La République from behind bars, talking about ceasefire and peace. They are going to the extent of mobilizing to create an army. He is personally calling on fighters on ground zero, asking them to be loyal to him. So, what do you say? What do you make of it when you begin to see people in prison acting this way?
Well, it's a betrayal. It's a betrayal. If you are going to discuss with the opposite camp, and the opposite camp is going to tell you what to do or to give you resources or ideas to create an army against your people, that's a betrayal. Yes, it's a betrayal, outright. That is why we disown such negotiation and we disown such leadership. No, the best thing is for Sisiku to keep quiet in that prison, to say that they should negotiate with the free people of Southern Cameroon and with the leadership they have put out. To attempt to take that negotiation on himself is not going to work. is our people will not accept, and we will spit out the whole thing. Yes.
All right.
We will
I
not.
would like you to do something, Pa, out there. Ground Zero is watching you, and you are one of the icons that is still left in this struggle. I think we have probably only you and Ambassador Fosung, I guess. Molanjo has just gone. But Ground Zero is watching you, they're listening to you. What would you tell them about the politics, I call it, going on Ground Zero? Because all of this is to get Ground Zero to give up, to surrender, get the restoration forces to surrender. What message? Can you look at your camera and deliver a succinct message to Ground Zero, please?
Chris, thank you for such an opportunity. To speak directly to our people, first of all, on Ground Zero, first of all, I'd like to thank all our fighters. I would like to thank all our leaders on Ground Zero and those outside. And to say just one thing, that in this struggle, we have crossed the Rubicon. That is a saying in ancient history, which simply means that we have crossed the point of no return. We cannot turn back. We are not going to turn back. We either fight to the finish or they kill all of us. And we cannot be deceived. We have known these are brothers east of the Mongo very well for nearly 60 years now. They are out to play a game. Look, the problem we have is one. We have come into political association with one problem, and that problem is not caused by us. That problem was caused by the United Nations. But we cannot go on crying over spilled milk. And that problem is that the United Nations decolonized French Cameroons. They were decolonized properly according to the Trusteeship Agreement. Southern Cameroons was not.
Yeah, we're going to come to that. That is our next subject about the book.
Yes. We will not talk about the book today, Chris, but yes, it's a good opportunity to say that we'll talk that about the book on 1st of August. Yes, we're launching my book. As Chris said, the title of the book is Seated at Dawn. We will talk more about the book on that day. We don't want to talk about the book. Those who want to attend the launching should apply, fill a form and apply, and we'll talk more. It's good that while we are talking, we are concerned about what is happening now. We should know the history also. We should know what happened.
I will take you back to that. I will take you back to that. But give a message to Ground Zero, what they ought to be careful about.
Yes, to Ground Zero, there are a few things we should be careful about. The person who is behind bars cannot speak for us and cannot negotiate for us. And whatever he negotiates, it cannot represent us because he is not free. Secondly, we should know these our brothers from east of the Mongo, the kind of game they play. They are playing games all the time. I will tell you something that I'm not supposed to say in public, but at the time we were in Banjul taking up the case of the Southern Cameroons, just on the floor of the commission and in front of the court, we said something, but it is not something that I can fear speaking in public. We told the commission that this country is corrupt. They have won corruption, the game of corruption in the world. They have been classified first in corruption 2 times. And watch out, because they are going to come to you. And I will say the same thing right now to my brothers who are leaders in the diaspora at home. They work by corrupting you, by wanting you to be corrupted and to do what is not right and straight. And please, please. Chris used the word blood money. If you get such money to sell your people, certainly you can push an inflated ball into water as strong as you can, but the moment you leave it, it's still going to come out. Truth will come out. We have truth on our side. We have what we are fighting for. We didn't start the fight. So we are defending. So let's go on. That truth, or if we change the word truth, we say God. God is on our side, and whatever happens, we are going to achieve that goal. So please, let us be serious and let us not flinch from fighting. And let us watch out for those who are blacklegs, those who cannot speak for us, and let's go forward. We are going to succeed. Our country will be free. This is how it is in history. The numbers of countries in the world throughout history is increasing just because of this kind of thing. When injustice was done to a people, the people identify the injustice and fight for their rights. They will get it. They will get it. That's how countries increase in the world. Ours is going to be perhaps the next one. But let us all stick to the fight. I regret that some people who were with us and then change sides, they are going to find out that things are going well, that we are going to achieve that independence. We will restore our state, we will put a government in Boya, and we will be free, and they will regret. So let our fighters go on, listen to the right leaders, and identify those among us who are trying to become blacklegs or trying to coming to bribe them at night and so on. And please spit them out. Spit them out. Thank you.
Spit them out. I love that word. Spit them out. Ladies and gentlemen, spit them out. Spit out the enablers, the blacklegs, the compromisers, wherever they show up with their ugly heads in this struggle. But let us talk a little bit, just a little bit about your book. Seated at Dawn is the title. I wish I had my copy here. Would have at least hold it on the screen for people. Do you have your copy there?
Yes.
Please hold it on your camera and let Ambazonia see it.
Yes.
Lift it high up a little bit. Okay, that is a little better. Really cannot see. Okay, let me see. Okay, yes, that is the book, Seated at Dawn, the aborted decolonization of the United Nations Trust Territory of the Southern Cameroons. All right. Thank you. I really believe it should be a very, very important book because we grew up learning so-called Cameroon history without learning our own history. What we were taught in primary school, in secondary school, our history was never taught at a high school level, but we read about it in the secondary schools and high schools, and most of what we know today was never, ever taught in those schools. And I say this to say that I believe that this book that Pandangam has written, I would want every Ambazonian out there to get a copy, because when we have our patriots still here to tell us to write down exactly what happened, I think it is important we get it so we can pass it down to the next generation too. But Paul, let me get back to you. Seated at Dawn, what you are essentially saying in that book is we were almost there, but it didn't happen. Without going into the details of the facts, brief Ambazonians what to expect when they get a copy of the book.
Okay, well, Chris, thank you for that question. But I'm not the person who has organized the launching, and I understand that I have to be there and there will be questions and discussions that they may call on me to reply. So if I let ABC take over, it may be unfair for those who have organized the thing. So on the 1st of August, we will be launching the book. We'll talk more about our history and what the United Nations and the British did in our history. I've mentioned one thing here. This single thing that we are not, even now till today, we have not been decolonized. I don't want to elaborate. It's seated at dawn. Chris has explained it correctly. This is an event that happened at a moment that we're expecting a different thing. So let me not spoil the work of those who are organizing the launching. I understand that we'll talk a lot about our history on that day. So the only thing you have to do is fill the form to attend the Zoom meeting. The launching is.
Can you give them? I'm sorry, we didn't get the link available before this broadcast. Can you announce the link where people can go to register, please?
Yes, I don't know whether I can announce it. I have it somewhere. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't bring it into our discussion. But
okay,
what we've done
I
is
will see I can locate that and read it out.
Yeah, if you locate it, you can, in subsequent broadcast or so, you can go and show it before 1st August. That is okay. That's okay. So that people can register. It's important to register before you attend.
Is it a free registration?
With coronavirus, we don't go and sit as a group in a hall.
Is it free registration?
Yes, the registration is free.
And where is this launching taking place? Which city?
That I don't know, because I say I'm not the one organizing. It's a group, the publisher and the group. I'm not, but I think if it's online, it's on Zoom. This thing, you can be anywhere, whether in Europe or in here, and you attend.
Oh, it's being launched digitally, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Let me see. I can find that link. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to. Oh, it's a very long link. It's a very long link. We will get this up on screen before August 1st, the date of the launch. We will get it on ABC before the date of the launch. I have the link here, but it's quite a long link. What I'm going to do now, Ground Zero is watching. I will open the phone lines, take a few calls, and before we call it a day, before you call, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that your the volume of your television set is turned down. Make sure that the volume of your TV set is turned down, please, before you call. We will not take calls with background noise, background echo. So make sure that your telephone number, your volume is shut down, and you focus on your phone. You have the phone number right there on your screen. The phone number is on your screen. Go ahead and make the phone call. While they are making the phone call, Pa, I will come back to you, and I would like you to tell us. Wait, let me see. I think I got the first caller in here. Let me get that. Hello, sir.
Hello, Victor Chris.
Hello, good evening, sir. Where are you calling in from, please?
I'm calling from Switzerland, Mr. Chris. I have a question for our guest today.
Okay.
Looking back, and we see what Sisiku has been doing in the name of our president, his handling of those early difficult moments in the creation, after the creation of our government. He took his cabinet to a meeting in Naira 10, and up to today we don't know why. And then having spent so much time and money to take him out of the seat to the Konange prison, he tried to cancel our government, tried to cancel our constitution, our restoration council, and now he's attending a meeting. Even if he was to talk about his liberty, he is not in that position to go there without his advocate. Just to tell you how negative this man has been right from the beginning. Now my question is how we going to qualify him. I want Pat to try to qualify, to tell us what he thinks about a person like that.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the call. Thank you for the call. I think he has already talked about that. He has said that is absolutely out of order, absolutely wrong. I don't know what else you want him to say. Pa, you have anything to add?
No, I don't want to look for adjectives to qualify what I have said. I think that he should have, what I have said is from the standpoint of advice. If I were the one approached like that, I will recognize my position that I am a prisoner, I am restrained, under restraint. I would advise those approaching me to see my people outside, to talk to the leadership outside, to talk to the leadership of the people outside. I think I still repeat it the way I said it.
All right. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling in from, please?
Secretary Chris. Yeah, I'm calling from Ground Zero, Bamenda.
Bamenda. Okay. Thank you for calling. You guys have electricity tonight?
Yes, we have electricity. There was none in the afternoon, but now we have.
Okay. Thank you. What is your question or contribution?
My contribution, sir, I just want to make this point clear to Amazonians, because when I hear that some people are being bribed, some people are acting as black legs to betray this revolution, it makes no sense to me. Listen, Amazonians, our country, let me give you an idea of what Amazonia contains. Amazonia has gas reserves, the highest gas reserve in Africa, more than 4.7 trillion cubic meters. Amazonia has over 7 billion barrels of petroleum. They will not tell you, but what I tell you is facts. Amazonia has got all the. Amazonia is a virgin land. We don't have companies, we don't have industries. So, a restored Amazonia will be a paradise on earth. Yes. Those 4.7 trillion cubic meters of gas, of gas, if liquidated today, will give us more than $70 billion. Do you know what that means for Amazonia? Why should we even listen to those demonic people? Why should we even consider for one moment what those people are doing, what those people are trying to do to disturb our revolution? Amazonia will be paradise for every Amazonian. So please, we have everything that we need to make a great country. These people are demonic. They should be. We should do everything to get rid of this people out of our territory, out of our country, and we'll have everything that we need in Amazonia in excess. Everything in excess, right to the fifth generation. We have everything. Are we not contributing 70% of the GDP of the country? 70% of the GDP comes from us.
Right.
Yet we are getting to 5%.
All right. Thank you. I think we got it. If Pau has anything to add, please go ahead. Thank you for the call, sir.
I did not hear him. Sorry.
Well, Pau, you were saying Amazonia contributes over 70% of GDP in that country, in the former Cameroon, that Ambazonians should remain resilient because we will be the Dubai of Africa. We will have the Dubai of Africa in Ambazonia.
I think I share his viewpoint. I think he's right, and that calls for us to go on with the struggle we are engaged in with determination to the finish. That's all. I think he's just saying we should go on, and that is right. I'm sorry I couldn't hear him well.
All right, let me take the next caller here. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, so may I know where you're calling in from, please?
I'm calling from Switzerland today.
All right. What's your question or contribution?
I just want to make a short contribution, and I want to start by applauding what God has done in his book, and to follow your recommendation that everybody should grab a copy. And it's very important to have a hold and a good understanding of our history and how events happen. Now, having that said, my contribution was, again, to reiterate that the more the people of Ambazonia, those who want to have freedom, continue to talk about Sisiku Ayutabe, the more he will, or the government in Cameroon will feel he has influence and controls most of the things in Ambazonia.
No, I think I differ with you. I differ with you because it is just but natural for people to display their indignation when people do the wrong thing. Don't you think so?
Right. You're absolutely right that people should display their indignation, especially with the current events or things that are going on. But what I'm saying is, it shouldn't be what defines the headlines of the news of what happens. So you could make a statement, a comment, and you go forward, you keep moving. And the reason I'm saying that is simple, because things that you see happening in the prison in Kondengi is not by mistake. It's well crafted just to see how much influence is still on the Ambazonian people. And the reason I'm saying, if we spend so much energy trying to analyze, defend, and undefend what has said and could be said, then it is not playing in our favor. And one way that you see that
again, sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you, but let's look at it this way. A few years ago, you had no internet, you had no social media. People read the newspaper once a week or once a month. They had just the radio, and of course, nobody had access to the radio, unlike today, where you can open a radio station in your own bedroom and broadcast. So with the presence of the social media, digital news, you go out and you speak once, as you expect us to do, about this subject. The social media, the other side, stays on it. They stay on it until they make their case legitimate. So the only thing we do is, they say advertisement works by you repeating the same thing again and again and again until it becomes, it sticks into people's ears. I think that is exactly what we are trying to do here, because you don't do it, the other side will do it.
Right, and let me again make my point clear. The game of tit for tat benefits one people. We are trying to prove that we can be better than La Republique, right? So they will play this game as long as we want them to play. What I'm trying to say is this: we have to demonstrate that we have control over the people in ground zero. It's not over the people over the internet. Now, some people, the people in the bushes that we want to help, they don't perhaps even see most of the time what is happening on Facebook. Most people you see commenting on Facebook are either people who are living abroad, or they are fake accounts. So you have people who are paid specially to create such things. And when you come and you spend your energy trying to defend that, now, to some extent, I agree with what you said. But what I'm trying to say is, if you look at how do you know that the IG has grips on ground zero? It's through ghost house. People respect it. They don't respect it because we make arguments on the internet. They respect it because we give them hope. Now, if you want to continue giving that hope to them, you have to be influential in what you do. Now, if energy, much of the energy is created in only trying to defend what he or who said what and where, I am just afraid it might become redundant at some point, and people might just say, well, this is just becoming into a debate of who said what, where, and how. So
all
what
right.
I'm saying is, right. So
I get your point. I get your point. Thanks for the call. Let's see if we can take other callers, especially from ground zero. But I get a point that you are making. However, when things happen, we have to talk about them until we are sure that everybody has gone in it. We cannot afford to come here once and talk about it and hope that it is over. La Republic has a bigger machinery to do propaganda than we do. They have all the newspapers in their favor. They have all the TV stations in their favor. We have only this channel and the social media. And when you have ground zero television stations and the newspapers reporting in their favor, you think we are doing too much? Come on. All right. Thank you. Pa, I saw you nodding your head. You want to say something there?
No. I think what you have said, I was nodding because that's right. We shouldn't say we've said it. We repeat it to repeat it and talk about it from different angles and from different voices, different people's view is a good thing. It's a good thing, and it should be done. It should be done.
All right, let's get this other caller. Hello. Hello.
Good evening,
Good evening, sir. Can you be a little louder? Your voice is quite low.
Hello,
I can't hear you, sir. Your volume or your voice is too low.
Thank you.
All right, we can't get that. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. This is Pastor Victor. I just want to contribute to the program.
Okay, sir. Thanks for calling. Go ahead. You're calling from Texas.
Yes, I just want to respond to the last caller that, you see, the truth that is not emphasized, lies can overshadow it.
Correct.
If you know the truth and you don't make people know the truth about a situation, those who tell a lie can overshadow that truth with their lie. How many times has he gone out to tell why Eric Tato they are talking all this stuff, they are talking the Mark Marita and the rest? So why is it that when ABC is explaining and making people on ground zero, bringing people like Pandanam to speak the truth about the error of Ayok, then he thinks that we are overemphasizing the truth? It is just to clarify those who don't know the truth so that they know the reality of it. So it's not giving any relevance to Ayok in any way, but just exposing his lies or exposing his weaknesses so that every other person can understand the truth. So I think that is what I wanted to just support and contribute to let the last caller to know why this should be done.
Thank you. Thank you. That was well said. Well said. Thanks for the call. Okay, let me see. Ground zero. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello?
Hello, sir. You are live on ABC, sir. May I know where you are calling in from?
I'm calling from the Northern Zone.
Okay, thanks for the call. What is your contribution?
Yes, my contribution is that we understand very well that one time Field Marshal said, even if Ayuk in the prison decide to join La Republic, that would not change anything on the ground because the people are behind the struggle and they want the struggle to go smoothly. I think our talking about Ayuk on daily basis makes no sense because we know in a revolution as such, there must be traitors, there must be people who are going to behave in a very funny manner. So we should focus on what we are doing. We should put our hands together, the diaspora and the people on ground zero, to fight and see where we are going to reach. Not every day talking about Ayuk Tabe, Ayuk Tabe, Ayuk Tabe. Ayuk Tabe was a fool. He can't explain to us what was he doing in the Naira hotel. Neither up to now in the prison, he can't explain to us what is going on in the hotel. So I don't think that is very irrelevant for us to be talking every day about him.
Yeah, you make sense there. However, you got to understand not everybody out there has the level of your intelligence. You know that, right? So that is why when you have the French Cameroon media talking about it, if we do not step out to also counter and tell the people exactly what it is that they are trying to do, you have gullible people who are not as smart as you are to maybe fall for what they are selling. But thank you for the call. Okay, let me get the next caller. Hello.
Hello, Secretary Chris. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. You are live on ABC. Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from the northern zone, Gokitunja.
Go Kitunja. Okay, okay. I learned you got some chiefs over there troubling you guys, including your colonial SDO.
Oh, yes. Yes, you are very correct, sir.
What is going on there? Tell me, what you got a question or a comment today?
Well, I would have loved to spill much, but for security reasons, one cannot just go on. The other time I called, you said my volume was too low. For security reasons, one has to speak lower with a lower tone.
You think somebody is standing out by your door trying to peep in into what you are saying?
Oh, yes, and even we live near one of the military barracks in Ndop.
Okay, so go ahead and contribute. Is it a question or a contribution?
Yeah, okay. I first wanted to thank and appreciate Honorable, my elderly and my my grandfather, Bandam, for his, for still standing and fighting for the truth. And always encouraged when I see people like him, like Ambassador Fosso and other elder people. It touched me to know that this trouble is a serious matter and not a joking one.
All right.
And the other thing I wanted to talk about Sisiku itself. I understand because if it is him came from him.
Well, it's a bad network, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see who else we have on the line. All right, Ochiba Nelson, you're live on ABC, sir. 1 minute.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Secretary and Pa Augustine. I'm very, very happy. In fact, I want all Amazonia, everybody should buy the book that Pa is going to come forward with because we are tired of reading what, how do they call, this Francophone guy who used to write Julius Ngo. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is this, I am very, very happy with Secretary Chris today because you have said we need to continue to educate our people back home as far as what the Konenge mafia people are trying to do. The problem is this, practice makes perfect. Even here in America, one story is told on CNN more than 5, 20, 50 times. So I would suggest that ABC should be coming up frequently with these kind of topics to educate people back home, because those people in the background, they are they calling our people and telling them different things. It is not by calling since the creation of the world, Satan's name has been called millions of times every day. It doesn't make Satan to be a popular person. It indicates to people that this person is a bad person, this action is a bad action. Those who say that we should not call a youth name or whatever thing they are negotiating, those are their surrogates. They don't want us to come and expose them. They don't want us to expose them. And in the long run, what is gradually going to be saying? They say, okay, if this thing was not good, it was not right, these people, they could have challenged it. So I want us to continue to educate people back home, especially on ABC, because not everybody in the villages, they have data to watch it on Facebook. ABC should come and call out their names, because these people, they barata, they call our people. Let us call them by their name, so that when they call our people, they should be able to know that, no, let us not take calls from these people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Your point is well taken. Of course, we are not capitulating. We're talking to people about this. Let me get to the next caller here. Hello. Hello.
Thank you very much for the great work you guys are doing up there at ABC TV.
Thank you. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from South Carolina.
Okay.
United States.
All right.
All right. All right. We have people like Ayapo Abine, who is somebody we look to for wisdom. When they start acting the way they're acting, it causes us to reflect back in the days when people like Danga were like fighting for freedom. They were busy pissing with La Republic. This come a time when the generation stood up for a free and independent Cameroon. They come in the role of Black Jesus. I just want to ask what advice can he post on there for people like Aya, for like trying to distort our revolution?
Okay. Pa, did you get that question?
No, I didn't hear him well.
What question would you, what advice would you give to people like Paul Anya, who, according to the caller, is one of those trying to distort or sabotage the struggle?
Well, first of all, I don't know the details of what he has done recently. I know that he is one of those who was captured and detained by the regime in Yaoundé for long, and that while he was in detention, something happened with his career, whether he was sent on retirement or something happened with his salary. I know that he suffered something, but recent developments from him, I'm not sure. But this I will say about people that we disagree with. Two things. People, individuals, all of us, we have our own ideas, whether in this particular thing that we are engaged in, that is restoring our independence and our statehood, somebody has to be part of the Republic. I think our own idea as Southern Cameroons and the tradition of democracy that we came through will make us defend anybody's idea. He has a right to hold his own idea. Whether somebody wants it to be federation, he has the right to have that federation, to want that federation. But the point about what we are doing and the form of democracy we are going to build is this. You are free to hold your own idea, to criticize either your government or the others. But once we identify what the majority wants, either through elections or through any referendum or anything, you are bound to bow. You are bound to respect what the majority is doing. Right now, in this revolution, we know where the trend is. We know where our people want, what their people want. We are not saying that those who hold the idea of federation, we don't want to hear and so on. You have a right to hear. But if you are honest, if you are honest to yourself, you know what our people want. If you know what our people want, the majority wants, and you are helping the other side, you are helping La Republic, you are a traitor, you are a black leg, and we should not mince matters. Yes. So I will say that in general terms. I don't know what Mr. Aya has done of recent specifics, but those who are black legs, those who want to betray their people, will be treated accordingly.
Yes. All right, thank you. Let me get to the next caller here. Hello.
Yes, please. Our elder secretary.
Thank you, sir.
I can tell you that I still breathe today because. Yes, I can tell you I still breathe today because I get up every day and I see you calling from Texas, standing up to fight for us. When I see you, there is daylight. I am calling to say I want to thank God for your life. I appreciate the God that gave you to Ambazonians. That I appreciate the God of heaven that gave you to Ambazonians. First. Number two, I want to thank even Papa that is on today for he is a master of everything that happened from those days till now. And I want to tell you, Secretary Chris, we are behind you. In fact, my wife prays for 4 hours every day and will put you first. We are behind you people from now to that kingdom come.
Thank you.
I want to be specific. I want to be supporting Amber TV. I want to be a real member that will support $50 every month.
Wonderful.
$50 every month. I will give my this thing. I will send my email to you, and we are going to relate on how I can be sending my money every month, $50.
Yeah. What you can do is just log on to ABC website, which is abcambertv.org. And once you log in there, on the top right hand, you will see a banner that says join the club. Just click on it. In 5 minutes, you are registered.
Great. And I want to come also up, and there is an idea I want to come up with.
Okay.
There's an idea I want to come up with. I want just 500 people that can join me. I will start mine with $1,000 cash.
Wow.
$1,000 cash. I want 500 benevolent Ambazonians that can join me because mine will be $1,000. They can start with 100. I don't care. I will start with 1,000 cash to be able to raise up to put division before you. That will be able to raise up a mobile efficient force that can move. That can be called to come in Boya or to Victoria or to Ngoketunja or to Menji. I mean to Libya at any time to execute high emergency calls, and they'll be able to be there at any moment to execute. So we don't have to look at these deals walking in our street, governor and leader. I want us people. I will start with 1,000. I want people to join me. 500 of us. Let us take.
All right. Let's do this. Call me and I will hook you up with somebody with whom you can coordinate what you are trying to do. Yes, call me off the air and I will give you a contact to the person with whom you can coordinate this.
Yes, but before I go, Secretary, I want to tell you we are motivated. My wife, my children, we are motivated by the spirit of the God of Ambazonia. I mean, bestowed upon you. See, without you, we wouldn't be where we are today. We know that others have done a lot, but without you, at this moment, we won't be where we are today. But I want to assure you, we are behind you. We will support with the money. We got the money. We will support, and Boyade will come in Jesus' name.
Amen.
I am sending you my email and my contact. Get to me, and let's begin to make things happen.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the call. Thank you for the compliments too. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, they say one hand, not a tie bundle. Now, two hands or many hands, they tie bundle. So all these praises why they take it for here. Now, it's because they not see what to wear other hands that they do for backside. They see me. But thank you anyway. So I take the last caller and we'll call it a day today. This is from Ground Zero. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling in from? I know you are calling Ground Zero, but precisely which county are you calling from?
Okay, I'm calling for Southern Zone, particularly Boya, the capital.
Okay. That's good to hear from somebody in the Federal Capital Territory. What is your contribution, yes, sir?
Okay, sir. Well, actually, I'm not talking for pigeon, so that at least a common man will hear me, even people from Ground Zero from the interior villages.
Right.
Okay. I like the last caller where he just talked that they should raise some money to put a standby missionary people who can execute mission at any time when they call them. So you see, Chris, I have two options. First option is that while Republic they get muscles in our land is because our restoration fighters get rocket launcher. If they forget a rocket launcher, from a distance they can bring down a military camp.
Right.
But the military they know say these guys cannot come inside town. That's why they are growing muscles. They know say for this guy for enter right inside town will be very difficult. But if the guy they get a rocket launcher, they can stand from a distance and bring down a building with a rocket launcher. So if this guy they can have a rocket launcher, they will not be killing our guys anyhow, because from a distance they'll just bring down the camp completely. So and then also Secretary Chris, the second one also is in where we live there was this military where they go for a battlefield, come back with injury, they can't buy Mimbo for people that for Cartier made a drink, say he do see die because he made when our own local government.
You mean their soldier or our soldier?
Their own.
Okay.
Yes, he come with the share Mimbo for people them say don't miss dies because our own local gun will make how they put our rod inside.
Yeah.
The bossy but he no die. So they can't give Mimbo for people. So the only thing the key say if only we will be no say we supposed to do. And I say when they put that their eye on the inside, if they feel they put poison inside that eye on the wall as it scratch you, if you know that they feel you can't die for us. Maybe they poison that while local thing to put out, maybe they poison them so that as it scratch you must die. Plenty they don't cancel, they get the injured them, but they can't survive. They made it poison and before the one that made it poison the things.
All
so
right.
My own support.
All right. Thank you for the call. You guys remain safe, okay?
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for the call. Ladies and gentlemen, we will call it a day here. No more time left. Pan Dangam, it was a pleasure again having you on board. Did I say you want to talk something before you go?
No, Chris, I just wanted to add to the last two speakers who are thanking you. I want to add my thanks for what you are doing and to urge you to continue. The idea that you are so energetic and talking to the point is a crucial part of the struggle you are putting in this struggle, and we appreciate it. And more, may God give you the strength and the energy. I want to go back and end with what you said in passing at the beginning of this program. You talked about the signature tune. This is something that everybody in the listening to ABC has heard many times. But what you said in passing is educating enough. Just commenting on what that signature tune is saying. It should remind your listeners and the whole of Southern Cameroons that the war we are fighting, the struggle we are in for, the center of it is a conflict on territory, or on our territory, on our land. It's a territorial conflict. That in itself, think about it. Think about it. Because if you are drinking in a house or something and you are conversing and you talk about our conflict and you know that when La Republic picked up the gun to fight us, they said that part of its country was seceding. You know, this claim that it was part of its country is not true before law. And they are trying to solve this program through guns because they know that if they go to court, the contention they are bringing will not be proven. They cannot establish it. Who owns the land? Who owns that territory? Is it the people of Southern Cameroons or La République du Cameroon? This is what we should be talking about among ourselves in places. So, Chris, I want to come back and thank you for what you are doing. And I wish you God's strength and blessings. I will pray for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pai. It was a pleasure having you. I look forward to having you one more time. And if possible, I will find out how the book launch is going. If we're possible to stream it on or broadcast it live on ABC, we may be able to do that. But we'll find out about that.
No problem. I'll discuss with the people.
All right. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good night, sir. Thank you, Ambazonians. Thanks for tuning in. That is all that we have for you today. Look forward to seeing you on Sunday with Meme Drive. Meme Drive. Please reach out to everyone. Let us make Meme proud. Let us make Meme proud. And look forward to seeing you possibly that Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. Good night. God bless.
You need a financial instrument that provides a hedge against inflation, 100% guarantees that you will not lose your money, has tax-free growth and distribution, the ability to take an interest-free loan, avoids probate, provides creditor protection, guarantees your family that your income will be replaced should you die, helps you protect yourself financially against chronic, critical, and terminal illness, and of course allows you to take money anytime for any reason at any age without a tax penalty. You need only as little as $50 to invest per month. Contact Irene Fombo. Tell 513-5014-177 or send an email to irenenpmsn@gmail.com. You need a financial instrument that provides a hedge against inflation, 100% guarantees that you will not lose your money, has tax-free growth and distribution, the ability to take an interest-free loan, avoids probate, provides creditor protection, guarantees your family that your income will be replaced should you die, helps you protect yourself financially against chronic, critical, and terminal illness, and of course allows you to take money anytime for any reason at any age without a tax penalty. You need only as little as $50 to invest per month. Contact Irene Fombo. Tell 513-5014-177 or send an email to irenenpmsn@gmail.com. You need a financial instrument that provides a hedge against inflation, 100% guarantees that you will not lose your money, has tax-free growth and distribution, the ability to take an interest-free loan, avoids probate, provides creditor protection, guarantees your family that your income will be replaced should you die, helps you protect yourself financially against chronic, critical, and terminal illness, and of course allows you to take money anytime for any reason at any age without a tax penalty. You need only as little as $50 to invest per month. Contact Irene Fombo. Tell 513-5014-177 or send an email to irenenpmsn@gmail.com.
Sango Lucas yabe na mesa pass mama ke ko fay mo mi ngadi fe nangondo ke wengere Enjaborie, Nabora Kote, Nabora for Mamanga, Okwambiru, Sakabase Kaka Sumbu, Bayanabe Sakutakaburi Bubandabo, it was Masaka Karuba. Yayo! Mori minga mo baya o ma wo ke ta bo moroko bongo ota mori minga mo baya o ma wo ke ta bo moroko babo bongo ota mori minga mo baya o pe me ke mati maboka bongo ondo ke wekere pere mukingari penda monongo toboro mori minga bari penda mo monengo ndoke yo, tango pausi, boca y vere, boca van a ver pa' qué, boca riari, ota mori minga baya o ma boqueta bo moroko ota mori minga baya o pa mega mati mamboka ota mori minga baya o pa mega mati mamboka babo Musomba